Let's break it down. The US Supreme Court has just agreed to hear one of the biggest immigration and constitutional cases in decades. It's about whether President Donald Trump can use an executive order to limit birthright citizenship in the United States. I'm Imran, a Middle East-based analyst who follows US politics and global affairs. Let's walk through what this actually means. First, what is birthright citizenship? For more than 150 years, the basic rule in America has been simple. If you are born on US soil, you are a US citizen. That comes from the 14th Amendment, which says that anyone born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a citizen. In 1898, the Supreme Court confirmed this in a famous case called Wong Kim Ark. A man born in San Francisco to Chinese parents was denied re-entry to the US, and he took it to court. The court ruled that he was a citizen by birth, even though his parents were not citizens, and even though there were strong anti-Chinese laws at the time. Since then, the understanding has been that almost everyone born in the US is a citizen at birth, regardless of their parents' immigration status, with narrow exceptions like children of foreign diplomats. Second, what did Trump's executive order try to do? On January 20th, at the start of his second term, Trump signed Executive Order 14160. This order tells federal agencies not to recognize certain US-born children as citizens. Under the order, a child born in the United States would not be treated as a citizen at birth if neither parent is a US citizen or a lawful permanent resident, and if the parent is in the country without authorization or only on a temporary visa, like a student or tourist visa. In simple language, if your parents are undocumented or only visiting or studying in the US, you would not automatically be a US citizen, even if you were born in an American hospital. The order was supposed to apply only to babies born 30 days after it was signed, but it was quickly challenged in court and blocked before it fully took effect. Third, how did this case reach the Supreme Court? Multiple lawsuits were filed against the order in different parts of the country. Federal judges issued injunctions, saying the order likely violates the Constitution and long-standing Supreme Court precedent. One major case, a class action lawsuit filed in New Hampshire on behalf of families and children affected by the order, ended up becoming the main vehicle to challenge it. That case is now the one the Supreme Court has agreed to hear. By taking this case, the justices are not just looking at technical issues, they are directly asking, can a president legally narrow birthright citizenship by executive order, or does that clearly violate the 14th Amendment? A decision is expected next year, and it could reshape who is considered American at birth. Fourth, why does this matter beyond legal theory? If Trump's order is upheld, it would create a new category of children born in the US who are not citizens. That would raise very real questions. What happens when one child in a family is a citizen and the next child born in the same city is not? How do schools, hospitals, and government agencies handle people who were born in the US but have no recognized citizenship? And what happens over time if more and more people grow up in the US without legal status, even though they have never lived anywhere else? Supporters of the order say it is about reducing illegal immigration and discouraging what they call birth tourism and misuse of the system. They argue that the phrase "subject to the jurisdiction thereof" in the 14th Amendment was never meant to cover children of people who are only temporarily in the US or who entered without permission. Opponents say the order goes directly against the text and history of the Constitution, as well as more than a century of court decisions and practice. They warn that if birthright citizenship can be narrowed by executive order, then a basic constitutional protection becomes dependent on whoever happens to be in the White House. From where I sit, outside the US, this case is about more than immigration. It's about what it means to belong. For generations, the American promise has been that if you are born there, you start life as a full member of the country, no matter where your parents came from. That promise has shaped millions of lives and America's image around the world. So let's break it down one last time. The Supreme Court has agreed to decide whether Trump's order limiting birthright citizenship is constitutional. On one side is a long line of cases, including Wong Kim Ark, and a very simple idea: born here, citizen here. On the other side is an effort to redraw that line using executive power. Whatever the court decides will not only affect lawyers and judges, it will affect real families, real children, and the future shape of American society. If you were born in the US to immigrant parents, or you are thinking about studying or working there, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think birthright citizenship should remain as it is, or is it time to change it? This is Imran Breaks It Down, and we'll keep breaking it down together.